Hello, welcome. In this video, I'm going to talk about playing in tune. Do you ever find that you start playing and the notes just aren't quite right, but the more you try to fix your intonation, the worse it gets? This is a common problem whether you're a beginner or an advanced player, where you have an intonation problem and you stop and you want to fix it. So you try harder and harder to fix it, and you work at it, you slow it down, you do all the practicing you know you're supposed to do, and your intonation gets a little better, but it's not consistent. Give me a thumbs up if this sounds familiar or if this is something that you're curious about. Thanks for being here, whether you're watching the replay or not. It is so great to know that you're here. So give me a big hello, type hi, or just, tell me if this is something that happens to you. Give me a yes. I'm a professional violinist. If we haven't met before, my name is Jennifer Roig-Francolí. I am a certified Alexander Technique teacher. That's a mind-body specialist, and I specialize in helping musicians. I help musicians improve their technique and their musicianship with more ease, less muscular tension, less woodshedding and hacking away at things. I want you to enjoy making your music with more ease and a way more fun. Less work, less hard work. It is possible, and it's possible to improve way faster and to be much more efficient when you have those tools that I can share with you from the Alexander Technique. So this particular video is going to be a little more specific to string players or other people who have intonation issues where you've got to be able to fix your intonation instantly on the spot. So you could be a brass player also, but obviously if you're a pianist, that's not going to be the most useful video for you. But as I said, I'm a violinist. I've been playing my whole life. And I know some secrets that I'm going to share with you about how to fix your intonation fast, so you're not going over the same old thing every day trying to perfect a passage and get it in tune. Okay? So I'm going to try to make this video short and sweet. I've got 3 steps for you. And if you've been following my videos or you're one of my students maybe, you'll probably think that this is familiar, what I'm going to tell you, but it's different depending on whatever you are applying it to. And today, the 3 steps are obviously applied to intonation. So here they are. The first skill you absolutely have to practice, and it seems just like a no-brainer, it doesn't even feel like a skill, but I promise this is where most people get tripped up. Most people forget to stop. Do you ever get sucked into your practicing and you're getting really excited or intense about what you're doing? You're concentrating and the time just flies by and you can't believe how much or how little you've accomplished in that time, but you're just like pushing through things. If that ever happens to you, just give me some sort of an indication, a thumbs up or a yes, that happens to me. We musicians tend to over-focus and over-concentrate, and we think it's a good thing, but the truth is it's not, because over-practicing, over-focusing, over-concentrating increases the muscular and mental tension that you bring to your music making. So when you're pushing through things, you're actually not taking advantage of one of the most important skills in your brain, which is to pause, okay? When you pause, even if it's for a moment, you're giving your brain time to learn. You're giving your brain time to reorganize, to actually discover a way to accomplish what it is you want to accomplish now, in the moment, like right away. So when you're pushing through, when you're practicing, let's say you want to learn how to play arpeggios really in tune. okay? And you just keep hitting the same notes out of tune, and you mark them in your part. Okay, that C sharp needs to be flatter, the E needs to be higher. You're marking all this, but you don't actually stop to let your brain take in the information. The other reason it's very important to learn how to stop is because if you learn how to pause and clear yourself of excess tension and excess pushing, you can you can empty yourself, empty your mind, empty your body of tension so that you can formulate a very clear intention for the next thing that you're going to do. Which brings me to number two. Step number two is you have to have a clear intention. If you don't really know why a note was out of tune when you just played it a moment ago, you're just kind of, it's a shot in the dark. You're like, oh, that C sharp was out of tune. I don't really know what happened to it, but I'm going to play it again, and this time maybe it'll be in tune. That's a total waste of time, and it's a waste of your brain power because your brain knows exactly how to fix things if you get out of the way and trust it. So step number two is to do a little bit of constructive thinking. It's your think step. You got to stop. That's your step number one. Step number two is think. And I'm not talking about thinking about, oh, this was really out of tune, I want to fix that. Not that kind of thinking. That is just clutter in your brain. I'm talking about what we call in the Alexander technique world constructive thinking. And this is a very specific skill that if you learn how to do constructive thinking, you're actually learning how to undo the habits that make you go wrong. The habits of tension, the habits of stress, the habits of self-criticism, the habits of judging, the habits of over-desiring to get things right. All of those ways of thinking get in your way and make it harder to play in tune. Stop, quiet yourself, and let go. You have a chance to clarify your intention of what you want and do some constructive thinking that is going to allow you to relax and trust that your brain knows how to organize your whole self. Your brain knows how to get that passage, that arpeggio in tune, if you just give it a chance. And that means you give it the time it needs. If you do this process, you're going to learn it so much faster than if you just push through and don't pause and think clearly and constructively. Okay? Step number three, the obvious, play the passage. Just try it. The element that most of us forget is that step number three needs to be an experiment. All right? You need to just let go, trust your system, trust your brain, and then take a chance and play it and see what happens. You're not playing it in order to get it perfect or to get it right this time. You're doing it again so that you can find out more information about what's going on inside of you. If you find that your arpeggio was way out of tune, who cares? It's important information. And then you stop and assess. What happened to that C sharp? Okay? I would actually recommend if you're working on a passage, as soon as you hear that a note is out of tune, stop if you're working on intonation. There are times when you want to not care so much about your intonation because you're focusing on something else as a priority. That's fine. But if you're working on intonation specifically, you've got to give your brain a chance. You've got to program it with the correct intonation, okay? You can't expect yourself to play in tune if you don't know what in tune sounds like, right? So you've got to know, okay, that C sharp, that time I played it, ooh, that's out of tune. Is it sharp? Is it flat? What happened to it? And maybe you don't know, and that's fine. Find a correct C sharp. Program your brain. And then go back to step number 1 again. Just stop. Just stop and give yourself a little breathing room. I have 3 magic phrases I teach my students. They are, I'm free. That, in this case, can mean I'm free to screw up and play out of tune. I want to improve, and I'm free to improve. And I also have time. That's my my third magic phrase is I have time. Second one is I don't have to do to fix this. I don't have to do anything right now. I just need to step back, get out of the way, have a clear intention, trust that my system can learn to play in tune very quickly if I give it time and space. Get out of the way, and then just play, do an experiment, find out what happens, right? So does this make sense to everybody out there? There are 3 steps. There are 3, I call them secrets, because most of the time we don't even know that this is the way to get things done, but it's so obvious. You've got to stop, you've got to think, and you need to think constructively. Most of us have our minds all over the place, and a lot of it is negative thinking, kind of destructive, critical, judgmental kind of thinking that is not helpful. We push ourselves around constantly, and we think we're not good enough. You got to get rid of that kind of thinking. Got to stop it. It just makes you tight, and then you can't judge the distances. You can't even hear well if you're tight. You can't even hear when things are out of tune, and you can't hear how you need to fix them if you're tight and wound up into knots. So the Alexander technique helps you to get out of the way. First of all, it helps you to experiment and observe yourself. And it teaches you very clear, specific ways to think constructively so that you can be super efficient, super effective, and learn how to actually get a lot done in very little time while you're having fun. So thank you for watching this video today. I hope this was useful. I love your feedback. So before you go, or right after I leave or whatever, please just send me a comment. Let me know what you think. Did you find this useful? And if you did, try it out and let me know how it goes. Come on over to the Mind Body Practice Tribe. That's my free Facebook group. I invite you all to join if you're not members yet. And invite your friends. Okay, share this video. If you have musician friends or teachers or students, everybody wants to be able to play in tune more often. And it's nice when people play in tune. Not so nice when they play out of tune. But we all do our best. So have fun. Come on over. As I said, join my group. The link is at the top of this post. And share this. Okay? Thanks so much for being here. And I will see you next Thursday at 2 p.m. If you're curious about my coaching in the Alexander technique or in musical skills like violin, I teach all kinds of musicians, all skill levels, all instruments. So just email me, private message me, join my group, contact me that way. Just ask, and I will give you all the information you need. I teach mostly online, so I am totally here for you if you want to learn more. Okay, thanks and take care. Happy practicing, and lots of love. That's where music comes from. So have fun. Bye-bye.